Well, welcome to the Tony Hills and Fishing Show. I'm just having a bit of a tidy up in the old TA film studio where we used to have the pool table, changed it all around, much better. But I got glare over here from a picture I had when I had a 450-pound sawfish, and it's like, I should have had it on non-reflective glass, and I didn't. I got it cheapo perspex, and it glares in the camera, so I put these two signs up, having to sort through a cupboard where we store stuff for Mike, and I found two metal signs with fish on, and they look old school. Sorry, they're in here now, Mike. I've got them stored in here. Just a bit more interesting. I'm getting ready for filming in the winter, basically. That's what it boils down to, because I hate the cold, and I thought I've really got to do some stuff. So, join me on a pike trip that wasn't great. It was pretty cold, but at least I was out there trying. I had the film in the files. I haven't used it yet. Check it out. I come into the car park, Sandhurst fishery. I think this looks very bizarre. There is not one car in the car park, and this is a big carp water. The reason being, it's solid. You might not see it with this camera, I can assure you. Anything that goes out there bounces. It's a bit like all kids, you've all thrown sticks and rocks and stuff out like that to see if the ice is thick. I'll just see if it does bounce. Yeah, it does. Anyway, I'm scanning around a bit, and it looks like over that side, hang on a minute, there might be a little marginal gap over there, and if nobody's been on there for a couple of days where it's frozen, can you see that there? Let's give it a go and at least throw a plug in what looks like water. So I feel there's a good bit worth throwing through, and with nobody here they might be rested. The old pike might be in there, and let's face it, according to the old books, a nice frosty morning is great for pike fishing. Whoever wrote that wants shooting. Hard to believe it, but this is actually a swim that is really popular with the carp guys, but which is also popular with the odd pike laying around here. I haven't fished this one for ages, but bonus is a second fish swim up there that I go to, and a fishy swim in the corner, and then what I call a sort of dead zone, but it's almost half of the lake is not too bad. So, going to be using my barramundi plug here, that one, because that's the last one, so I had the hits on. And had fish on, heavy line, it's 30, the old white kanji rod. Let's get throwing, guys. I'm all keen now, and even better, it's in the sunshine. Oh, look at all this on this bark here. Look. See, I get distracted so easily. That's the trouble. Look at all this on this bark here. Anybody knows? Come around this side. The names of the fungus. I've already noticed something. This is the sun side. It's dry. You go around the back on the north side, because I know which side north is here. There's absolutely loads of this fungus here, and that shows you it doesn't like the sun. It likes that damp area, the north facing. So that tells me this way is west, that way is east, that way is south. Obviously the sun tells me that as well. Very, very, very clear. Should have bought my polarising glasses. And that's the area just down there in front of those bushes. He said the pike would bust him when he was carp fishing. In fact, he told me to come and throw there, but his carp rods are here, and he was fishing way, way out, like they go way out. There's rings over there. I'm not sure they're birds. I can see birds, obviously. I'm not that stupid, but there's some rings over there. wonder if that's a pike moving. Yeah, I'm getting all keen now. You know, I'm watching, I'm not sure that ring over there that I saw come up. Oh no, it might be an agreed, tell them what. Might be a one cast, one day, hook up straight away. Nearly up the tree. Well, no takes, guys. I've given this particular swim a good pasting. Lovely bit of sunshine. I'm just glad I'm not fishing over there in the shade, all that ice there as well. That would be really cold. Got no gloves on either. I mean, really something for me. I've seen a couple of fish I think move, but they could have been anything. They're just out of casting range. So I'm going to move down to the next swim and just see if there's anything there. Should be clear enough to get a strike out of a fish if there is one, but of course with the cold water temperature they might not be willing to move too far. Wow, I just lost one in the second swim. Really annoying, just pulled off the hook, and I mean that's not a big lure, so I don't know what that was all about. But there's something down here that's red and white. What is red and white? I don't know. I'm going to try and fish it out if I can. Can you see it down there? It's a red and white something or other. Well, I've lost a pike, but I've gained a thingy. Some form of bait dropper device. How does that open? Is a man throwing it away in a rage as he cast it 250 yards from the other side of the lake, or he's just floated and drifted across? I don't see how that opens. No. I've got normally have a little button here that pings them open. Well, I'll have to wait until the cart guys come and they can tell me. I know it's a spawn thing, but whatever it is, how do you open it? How does it open on impact? I don't get that. Answers on a postcard. Meanwhile, back to the pike. Sun's gone in, it's getting cold. Wait for this, I lost another one. Bang, bang, thump, thump, thump. Spits the plug back at me. Wow, that wind's coming right up, it's cold. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I should really call it quits. But I'm going to go right along the edge of the ice floe here because it's sort of snapped off from the land, if you like, drifted all the way up here. And then I might just go for last knockings around that swim where I lost those two fish, and in the low light they might just slip up and I might pick one up. I feel a blank coming, but I've had my chances, 2 takes. They're just nipping at the back here, that's what it is. If you grab it with your hand and pulled, you'd be hooked for life. Right, a few throws here. Well, I was talking to one of the bailiffs around there, and we were both discussing that, you know, that obviously nobody's carp fishing. They're coming out tomorrow night, even though it might ice up again tonight, and going to give it a go. It's high pressure. We've got it down as high pressure. We've had a real bank high pressure for a long time, which means it's very dry. But I found the same sea fishing. I've been beach fishing in Somerset last week, putting some, you know, hard sessions in, and I've not got the payback that I deserve. I know all fishermen say that. It's got to be a reason. The bites I was getting, I was sort of missing and all. They'd come to nothing. Those pike, I mean, this lure, look. It's not a big lure. A 3-pounder should inhale that. So he's just snapping at the back of it half-heartedly. That's what I think, anyway. So it's a beautiful sunset. I've got to give a few casts in the swim, but basically it's all over by the shouting. But just check this view out. That's got to be worth a few casts like that, hasn't it, to be honest. Well, that's it. A cast went through the tree, the lure went flying off out there, plop. So that's an expensive cast. Gonna call it quits now. I feel a bit bad not getting you guys a fish. I mean, I've had 2 on and not even got 1 camera. So I think of something else random to put up, and it'd be extremely random. I'll go through the files, see what we got. So don't switch off just yet. There could be something completely different coming on in a minute. At least I gave it a go in that cold condition, and fishing when the water is not high on my list of priorities. But I could have gone from 0 to hero if I just stayed attached to those 2 pike. Anyway, back to reality. I get a letter, and it's come from the council saying, we noticed in one of the properties a beech tree, not a beech tree, a birch tree, silver birch tree, is dead. It has to be removed within 2 months. I get the letter 4 months out of date. I mean, what is that all about? So I thought, yes, get Mike's Katana Boy saw, the long one, up the ladder, sawed a couple of bits down. That's just quite a long way up. Yes, right. This is what happened. So, here I am climbing up a tree that I thought was a lot bigger, a lot smaller than it is. It's a dead one. And I think, to be honest, it's got to be beyond my remit up here at the age of 71. Don't know what you guys think. I've done a couple of saws on it with my Katana Boy saw. Got my double ladder. I don't want to go up any further. I think it's a phone call to Ryan, our tree surgeon. So, back down the ladder to safety for Uncle Graeme. Otherwise there's no more films. Very, very windy as well. So it's never good when it's windy. So I figure another job come in and the tree surgeons come in and get the job done tomorrow morning. obviously with all that sawing that Ryan's done, I have a goodly amount of logs for the log burner. But what he did mention, we're about to split them, there's a line there, and I think he called, I've forgotten now, but I think it was a water line, a watermark, which he said is a sort of nice angle if you do want to chop them, sort of, I guess, aim for that really. I guess it's a weakness through the middle. But for that I'm using a log splitting axe, which got a square end to it, so I actually belt it with something a bit larger, yes. A 12 or 14 pound sledgehammer which solves most problems in life. So just using the log splitting axe on a sort of 5-inch across piece does actually split them, but these are stringy. Can you see they're stringy? So you have to split logs into normally a quadrant in order to get them to dry out inside, because the benefit of a log burner is they're extremely efficient for burning, for heat, but you need to use super dry logs. You know, you can get kiln dry logs and you're going to pay for that obviously because they're specially dried, or you can dry them yourself. Fortunately I can still swing the axe, I'm very lucky in that respect. So I'm chopping them all into what I would call quadrants so that I can get them stacked and dried. I would generally, if I get a stiff one like this, whack it with a hammer and I can go right through. Once I've split that main cylinder, if I've got it, I can turn it around like this, and that can generally, with a splitting maul, it's actually called a maul, M-A-U-L, I think they spell it. The log splitting maul is big enough and heavy enough with a good swing to whack right through that. If it gets stuck, you can either hit it 2 or 3 times or tap it with Sammy sledge, as we call it. So all these are ready for drying out. You could burn them, but with moisture in there, they say not good for log burner chimneys. I've also got some nice big hard log splitting blocks there from the base of the tree. So you can see absolutely nothing gets wasted. All of these 2 or 3 big base ones, and you can see the difference in centre colour, another centre ring, loads of rings there, an outside one and the outside bark layer, and there maybe are the tree rings that go towards telling you how old it is. Well, it was good to get that tree down. All signed off, all tickety-boo, all done. I've got a load of logs for the log burner. I've had some good exercise, swinging that axe. I'm sure I appreciated at my age, but it's got to be done. And of course, I've got them drying out in the greenhouse. And as you can see, I've also got Swedish fire torches, which occasionally I take on my beach fishing trips. I'm looking forward to the beach fishing this year. I just hope it's going to be better than the last 3 or 4 years. I often get people say they look around in the background. I guess they must freeze frame it and just have a look around in the background. And some people say, what are those reels? Well, I've got a load of old reels. A lot I got rid of at an auction once. I should have kept them really, but I just got rid of them. And I thought, here I am pike fishing, catching nothing. How tough must it have been years ago? I'm talking Victorian Edwardian times when they were fishing. And here's one of the reels that they used to use. Hard to believe that this might have been the state-of-the-art fishing reel years ago. It's an old Alcock's Stanley reel, and it works pretty much on the same principle as the spinning reel does, you know, today. Obviously the handle winds, look, it goes round, but if you look, not only does the spool revolve here, winding your line on, but you've got the equivalent of a line lay there. If I just get that up to the camera, watch that. This one. Look, it goes up and down. Your line comes up here to the rod, back down, and loop it through there and onto the spool. So it winds like this and line lays on that distance, which is the diameter of the spool. Now, when you think of, I'm going to say those big pick cart reel things they use nowadays, this spool is bigger than the diameter of the whole fishing reel now. So it shows you the guys years ago weren't casting a long way, well, you wouldn't with the diameter of this and a line lay like that, but they still caught fish. If they didn't catch fish, there would be no antique fishing books about with all the different techniques they used to catch them. But of course they would have specialised in fishing close in margin fishing. So I just thought people might be interested to see that is an old original fishing reel. And I don't want any smart remarks saying, I bet that's one of Graham's new ones he's bought. No, it's an old one I've had collected, but I do like using old gear. Maybe I should go out, fill this one up with some fishing line. You guys let us know in the comments page. I've done one on a bamboo cane and horsehair for line. It's up on the playlist. I've actually done it with horsehair. I've been out and caught on horsehair. Should I fill this reel up, put a bit, fill it up, look, it's about 25 yards of line it will take. Should I go out and see if I can catch a fish on it? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching this little short filler midweek one. There'll be another one up Friday, called our main film. The other thing I'm going to do, I was going to do it last winter, I never did. Down here I've got, we're down here, everywhere I've got, I mean thousands of slides. I've got to go through them and I've got to scan them all into the computer and use them for maybe something like theory time talk, so you guys can look back, you younger people of 40 and less can look back and say, wow, I didn't realise these places looked like that, or those fish were caught like that 50, 60 years ago, which is when I was taking stills photography. So I decided I'm going to go back. I feel like I'm going backwards. I'm going to make a light box, what they call a light box, and then I can put maybe a piece of, we used to use frosted glass. I'm not about to go out and buy something. I will find something that looks like frosted glass so that I can look at slides without having to crane my neck like this, looking to see what's on the slide with a jeweler's eyeglass. That's how we used to do it when I used to do all the magazine and bookwork years ago. You'd have a light box, spread all your slides out, get a jeweler's eyeglass, and then look to see which ones are focused and which ones weren't, which were colour saturated and format, that sort of thing. Did a lot of that. So, thanks for watching this show. Hit the subscribe button, hit TA Outdoors, TA Fishing, you know the score. If you feel that way inclined, hit the like button, and don't miss Friday's film. Last Friday's was a good one. There were a lot of fish. Now I need to find out how to catch some more pike. See you next time.